Hello, my name is Valentina. Welcome to the Carluccio's Italian kitchen. Today we're making Pane Casareccio. This is a typical southern Italian bread. You must know that Italians are very good with leftovers and we don't throw anything away. It comes from Puglia, which is incidentally the region where I come from. So anything you find in the fridge, like pieces of meat, like salami or ham, roast ham, whatever you find, and pieces of cheese, they all go into this lovely Pane Casareccio. We're going to be starting by making the dough first. Of course, we use our hands. You can use a machine if you want, but you know, we like to do a bit of workout. It's very good for your hands as well, so you know, we're going to do that. So we are using a double of flour to begin with. We're going to use 30 grams of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, 3 eggs, some very good extra virgin olive oil, fresh yeast. Okay, so we're gonna start off by making a well. I'm doing this the Italian way because I know that some people prefer to start off this in a bowl, but I want to do it the Italian way, so that's why I've got a lovely wooden board. Wood works really well when kneading because obviously it's a rough surface, so that really helps kneading, because you want a nice smooth dough. We're going to be kneading this for about 15 minutes if you're doing that by hand. If you have a machine, probably a little less. Right, so we're going to make a well. So there we go, like this. And then we're going to start adding 30 grams of salt. I'll say each teaspoon is about 10 grams, so I'm going to add about 3 teaspoons. Okay, 2 and 3. I'm going to mix that well in there. It's all going to be mixed up anyway because we're obviously kneading later. And then in this bowl I'm going to measure 150 ml of extra virgin olive oil. Allora, nice, look how yellow and thick this is. You want to, because it's a key ingredient, you want it to be a good olive oil. Okay, so 150 ml. And then we're going to break 3 eggs. These are free range eggs, they're large. There we go, 2 and 3. Excellent, and now we're going to be mixing this. In this other bowl, I have 300 ml of lukewarm water. Okay, to this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon or 1 teaspoon and a half of sugar. In this case I've got brown sugar, it doesn't really matter what you have. And we're going to add fresh yeast. Now fresh yeast isn't always easy to find. Any baker, any good baker will have that. Otherwise, if you go into any Carluccio's and you ask, they will get some from the kitchen. We do use fresh yeast. What is important is that you've noticed I've mixed water, yeast and sugar, and I put the salt separately. You should never mix yeast and salt because the two don't get along, and so if you mix them like close to each other, the yeast will die. So yeast is very sensitive creature, so you must be careful about this. So I'm mixing this well now so that, you know, salt and yeast don't really get in touch. There we go. And then we've got slowly going to be mixing the two into the well and make the dough. I'm going to start off with the egg first. And then I'm going to be adding the water. Because the thing is, guys, you don't always add all of the liquid. Because sometimes the flour needs less liquid than your recipe tells you. So you just have to have a bit of a understanding and see if it needs more liquid, there's plenty there. If not, we leave it out a little bit. Okay, so it's quite important. So we're mixing this, and slowly as we go around, we're collecting the flour from the sides. Okay, so all the eggs is now in. Because the eggs here is what is going to give the flavor, so it's quite important to put that all in, and then we can retain some of that liquid if that's too much. What we're using here is double of flour. you'll find double flour in most of the recipes. In fact, until a few years ago, you didn't really find any other flours in Italy than semolina, durum wheat, which is what we use to make pasta, and double flour. It's kind of an all-purpose flour. It's a very fine, soft wheat flour, fantastic for things like, you know, focaccia, pizza, that kind of thing. For bread as well, because it gives you a light dough. We're going to start slowly adding the liquid. Let me recompose my well. It's quite important you make it well, otherwise the liquid goes all over the place and then it's going to be difficult to get it back. So we're now kneading this dough. You can see now it looks more like a dough. From that horrible mess that we had at the beginning, we now have a dough. But what we're trying to do now is to make all an even color. So at the moment, you can see there's still bits and bobs, it's not even, the egg is not quite meld within the dough. So we just need to knead away until this becomes really nice and smooth. Okay, so what we're doing now, we're clearing all these bits that we don't want in the dough. So we clear the board. Because if we get these bits in the dough now, the dough will become brittle and we don't want that. So, there we go. We try and work in a bit of a tidy way. Now you've got these great gadgets. Nice of kit that you can have it on. And now on a clean board, you knead away. And now you can get all your frustrations out. So what you're doing, you're stretching and folding, stretching and folding. I cannot tell you how satisfactory it is to actually eat the bread that you made. You know, you can see it's becoming yellow, all one color. Probably a good idea to clean your hands. So again, you don't want these bits into the dough at this point. There we go. And you knead away. So we need probably another 10 minutes of this. Okay, yeah. So we're kneading away. I've been kneading this for now 6 minutes and I'm really enjoying this. This is a good workout. Shame that I will lose all this workout once we eat this, because it has a few calories, as you will see. So I just want to show you, see they still got a bit of bumps here, it's not quite smooth. It's what we're trying to achieve, but the color is kind of uniform now. So then we need it for another maybe 5-6 minutes to have it all nice and smooth. Oh. Now I've been eating this for about 15 minutes and it's now nice and smooth. The color is all uniform, so we know that all the eggs have been incorporated. And what we do, we put it in a nice bowl. Okay, we oil it slightly so that it doesn't stick, as it proves. There we go. Okay. We put a tight lid on top, or you can just put cling film over it and leave it in a warm place. You don't want to speed up this process too much, but you don't want it in a cold place either. So in an airing cupboard or by the stove, as long as it's nice and warm. And this will be proving for about 30 to 60 minutes, depending again on the temperature.